Iran has launched several waves of attacks against Israel using swarms of drones and missiles from Iran in response to Israeli strikes on its embassy in Syria. Red alert sirens were activated in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, the Golan Heights, and Israel's south as Israeli air defenses engaged Iranian drones and missiles. Iran-backed armed groups including Hezbollah, the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, and Yemen's Houthis participated in the attack, launching drones and missiles toward targets in Israel. Early reports show only a handful of drones made it successfully to Israeli territory as Israeli, American, British, and Jordanian assets shot down most of the Iranian drones over Iraqi and Syrian territory. Iran's mission to the United Nations issued a statement declaring that the attack against Israel was done under Article 51 of the UN Charter on the right to self-defense. The mission also announced that the matter can be deemed concluded, indicating Iran doesn't want a wider escalation. Iran's direct attack on Israel shattered the status quo and rules of engagement that have defined Iran and Israel's shadow war for 2 decades. Whilst the likelihood of escalation is low on this occasion, but it is more likely now in the future. Saudi Arabia's ambitious $500 billion NEOM mega project, a key part of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 plan, is to be downscaled. One of the key aspects of the development is the line, which is planned to host 1.5 million people by 2030, but has now been downsized to 300,000 residents. The length of the revolutionary linear city has also been scaled down from a staggering 170 kilometers to just 2.4 kilometers, with workers at the site in northwestern Saudi Arabia reportedly laid off. Many have for long questioned the viability of the project, with many of the planned urban innovations, such as the line, still technologically impossible, and a range of economic, environmental, and political challenges to this never-seen-before megacity. The Saudi monarchy has a long history of announcing vanity projects, which on most occasions never see the light of day. Previous kings have all wanted to leave a legacy project in their name, but the costs were always exorbitant, with many projects never even completed. MBS's Vision 2030 looks like it will be heading the same way. An Israeli parliamentary member has given the clearest indication about Israel's intention for the Gaza Strip the day after the war ends. Limor Son-Har-Melech, a member of the Israeli Knesset and the hardline Jewish Power Party, has said there are secret Israeli plans to establish settlements in the Gaza Strip. She told the Israeli Knesset's TV channel that there was a vision for the day after the war on Gaza, and the only optimistic vision is the renewal of the settlement of Gaza. Of course, this will happen in stages. I think this will happen whether we like it or not. Starting in the next session of the Israeli Knesset, you will see practical steps, including plans and work in government offices and security services. There is intensive work behind the scenes on this. Other members of the Israeli Knesset and ministers in the government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have not been shy about their desire to re-establish settlements in Gaza. In January, 12 ministers and hardliners attended a conference on the settlement of Gaza. Itamar Ben-Gvir, Israel's Minister of National Security and the leader of the Jewish Power Party, spoke at the conference and called for Netanyahu to take steps to allow for settlements. In October 2023, a document prepared by Israel's intelligence ministry that was leaked to the media said the best post-war scenario for Israel would be the expulsion of all 2.3 million Palestinians living in Gaza. The Ukrainian parliament passed a long-debated law which simplifies procedures for the draft and forces all men aged 18 to 60 to register with the military authorities. This comes after President Zelensky signed a law lowering the age of conscription for men from 27 to 25. This in many ways is the last throw of the dice by Ukraine, as Russia's missile attacks on Ukraine's energy system, the bombardment of its second-largest city, and advances along the front are stoking worries that Kyiv's military effort is nearing breaking point. A dire shortage of ammunition and manpower along the 930-mile front and gaps in air defense show that Ukraine is at its most fragile moment in over 2 years of war. The risk is a collapse of Ukrainian defenses, an event that would give the Kremlin an opening to make a major advance for the first time since the initial stages of the conflict. Far from being able to seize back occupied territory, which was last year's objective, Kyiv's forces are struggling to hold the line on Russia's advance, with aid and military transfers stuck in the US Congress. Unless the West make major new commitments, Ukraine's position is looking dire.